Hello everybody, in this video I'm going to be showing you some tips that you can use to help make your cross a little bit better, okay? These will mainly be so that you don't mess up and you don't do a lot of unnecessary moves. So this will make your cross more efficient and you're not very likely to mess up. Now keep in mind that I only do green cross, so I'm only going to be doing an on-green cross, so try to follow along if you can, but these tips also will correlate to if you do white, okay? So just keep that in mind. Alright, so my first tip I have here is do not use really awkward moves to preserve a pair, okay? So it is good to take advantage of things like this, but if it requires a lot of moves just to preserve it, do not do that. Just forget about the pair and then do it normally, okay? For this case, for example, it's very awkward to preserve this, okay? So I'm just going to forget about this and just track the pieces, okay? So I have these two here, so I would solve these. Bring this out. And because I saw it did somehow get preserved, I'd push this out. But it was really hard to see the solution to preserve this pair, okay? So if you can't see an easy solution or it's not easy in general, do not worry about it. Just either choose a different pair or track the pieces. Another tip is do not try to preserve more than one pair unless it's super easy, okay? Doing that is going to make a lot of awkward moves to the point where it might be impossible to preserve everything. And you're just going to waste a lot of time on something that you didn't even have to do. So if that ever comes up where you have two or more pairs already done, just choose whichever one will be preserved the easiest and then track that one and then solve it. But you can also try to track the other ones if your look ahead is good enough. Another tip is, if you have a cross solution that is extremely awkward, like it uses pretty much all 6 sides of the cube, here's one thing I would recommend, okay? If you need to rotate, only do it like if you really need to, okay? And another tip is, do not go too fast, okay? Because doing that, you may turn the layer the wrong way, okay? Like, a couple times, if I have like a piece back here and I put it in position, sometimes I do it the wrong way and then it screws up the cross, okay? And another thing that you would be at risk of doing is, you may end up doing your cross wrong and it may look something like this when you're done, okay? So you really want to be careful of that. And another thing also to be careful of is when you realign it after all the pieces are in, make sure they are always attached to their centers, okay? This is pretty elementary of this, you know, and it's pretty much common sense to do that, but there have been cases where I have forgot to realign it, so be very careful about that, because having to realign this afterwards, it's a pain, and it will really ruin your solve, so just be very careful. My next tip that I have is, if you have any bad edges, meaning edges that you can't put easily down here, here's one for example, where it would be flipped. There are ways to bring it down, okay, if you don't know about it. You bring it down with this one, which turns it into a good edge, okay? It's good to do that, but there's a limit of how far you should take that, okay? If you have multiple bad edges in the top layer, it would be a little bit better for some of them if you insert them like this, okay? Because if you do it all the other way, your move count for the cross will be rather high, and if it's high, your time is going to suffer. So, and remember, every cross can be solved in 8 moves or less, okay? It's a certainty that you will always get, okay? And you will make it significantly higher than it has to be. Now, it's understandable that it's not very easy to solve your cross in 8 moves or less all the time, but there are some ways you can cut down the move count at least, okay? There is no reason to have like 20 moves in your cross. Alright, so now I'm going to be doing 3 walkthrough solves for the cross, okay? So we have this cross here. So we have one bad edge right here, and I see we have this block and the pair here. These aren't in a very good position, so we're going to forget about this for right now, okay? So here's what we're going to do. We're going to bring this down, do a D2, which will set this up, like that. And then we have this, and I knew it was going to break it up, like that. Okay, and I was tracking the pieces, so because I tracked them, I saw where they're gonna end up and was able to go straight into it. Alright, for this next cross, there aren't really any bad edges here. So, we can probably preserve this edge here. Okay, so there's also this, but we're not gonna worry about that. So I bring these two down like this. Allows that to come in. This. Alright, and my look ahead was not that great, but the piece is right here. Just solve it like that. Alright, for this next case, we actually can preserve both of these very easily. So the way that would work is we bring this down, it puts that there, and then it brings this down and it solves this, okay? So I jump into this one, which is the one I was tracking, and then that's how it would work. So I hope this was helpful for you guys. Let me know what you guys think. Can you do your cross really fast? If you have any other things I should have mentioned, feel free to post them in the comments. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys on my next video.